Well, for the current year, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting received $535 million federal dollars, but that amounts to just 1% of NPR's total budget and about 16% for PBS. And when it comes to public television, the majority of that funding goes to local stations. NewsNation's Joe Khalil following this for us on Capitol Hill. Joe, what are the big takeaways?
Yeah, it's been an interesting hearing this morning so far, and actually they're just wrapping up now. I can tell you the reason for this hearing. Let's remember, it's in the DOGE subcommittee, which is DOGE's arm here on Capitol Hill. So Republicans leading it, they're looking for efficiency. They're looking for areas of the government in funding that they can cut. And what they're saying is that if public funds are going to NPR or PBS, then Republicans have concerns about the editorial content being too left-leaning and too much of a liberal bias. That is the consensus among all Republicans who were in that room today. And interestingly, we heard from the CEO and president of NPR, Ms. Maher, who actually did not refute when there were questions about editorial leanings. And she says, yes, they do need to do better. Take a listen to what I thought was one of the more interesting exchanges here between her and Congressman Michael Cloud, a Republican from Texas.
Can we expect that you will bring the same lack of reverence for truth to your management of NPR?
Thank you, Congressman. First of all, I do want to say that NPR acknowledges that we were mistaken in failing to cover the Hunter Biden laptop story more aggressively and sooner. Our current editorial leadership.
In Wuhan?
We recognize that we were reporting at the time, but we acknowledge that the new CIA evidence is worthy of coverage and have covered it.
So those are two pretty big admissions, I think, that work toward Republicans' points. On the other hand, we've been covering this other story all day about the security situation, Secretary of Defense, and that group chat. Nearly every single Democrat in the hearing today brought that up and said, that should be the topic of discussion among the House Oversight Committee, not this. They make the argument that PBS, that NPR, their federal funding, $500 million annually total, but they say that is a small fraction. And if DOGE really wants to achieve government efficiency, that they should be looking elsewhere. Mr. Patel, this FBI Director Kash Patel, wondering if you have any comments, sir, on the hearing so far, how it's been going? Okay, a different story. Sorry, Nichole, bear with me. I just saw Kash Patel come by. I figured we should at least try to get him. He didn't make any comments. That's a bathroom break there. Apologies. Back to our story here. A lot of these Democrats are saying that issue should be what's taken up, and many of them tried to make the point that they don't really find this hearing to be a serious one. Many of them made light of it like this here. This is Congressman Garcia from California. Take a listen.
So instead of a serious hearing, we're here to attack NPR and PBS. So let's get right into it. Now, Ms. Kerger, the American people want to know, is Elmo now, or has he ever been, a member of the Communist Party of the United States? A yes or no?
No.
Now, are you sure, Ms. Kerger? Because he's obviously red.
Well, he is a puppet, but no.
So there were a lot of exchanges like that where, again, the focus on Big Bird and Elmo and that. There are serious and substantive discussions happening now, which I just also point out, as was mentioned at the top, something like 16% and 1% of the total funding of PBS and NPR are federal funds. The rest of it, they raise themselves and they get private money for it. So when you talk about cutting funding, that also is a part of the discussion here in this hearing. But again, this is just one slice of what DOGE is trying to do, not just from the White House, but from here on Capitol Hill as well.
Absolutely. All right, Joe, thank you. And we all. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.